Oh. What did I do? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of me talking about tattoos. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk about my craziest story I've ever had during my tattoo career, which, if you clicked on it because of the title, yes, I legitimately saw an exorcism at the first shop I ever worked at. And maybe some context to that would be that I got my apprenticeship through a tattoo artist who ran his own shop, and next door was his church. So I attended the church like one time to just say, hey, I'm interested in the things you're interested in, whatever, trying to be like, I want to work here, hire me, you know, what obviously was, hey, take my money and teach me. So I don't know if that was all necessary, but yeah, sat down for his church one time, super chill, had a band, did like kind of like more metal type of music in it and stuff, and all the people there had lots of tattoos, and I fit in, and I was like, okay, this is a cool community he has going on, I like this. So I get my apprenticeship. I'm there probably, I don't know, like a few months in or something. Not super long. Maybe October? I have no idea. This was like 8 years ago because I was like 18, and it's been a minute. The things that I'm going to describe are very vivid because it's hard to forget an exorcism 5 feet away from you. Like the legitimate exorcism. Oh, so weird, guys. I don't affiliate with any religion, so I'm like, I've been to church. I went to church till I was like 8, so it's not like I wasn't familiar with it. And I went out to a church like in the boonies, like not super far away from where that shop was. So I thought I had a good understanding for religious practices. No, this was like straight up like Salem witch trial shit. It was interesting. So to kind of set how that day went, I would come in at like 3 o'clock to start my shift. So I would go to school, and then right after school would drive straight to the tattoo shop, which was like 20-30 minutes away. And then I would immediately start drawing and stuff like that. But I was sitting out on the front bench of the shop, and there was this guy walking up and down the street, and it's you know, small town, dead street area, you know, nobody's there. So it's just me and him, and I think my ex, my boyfriend at the time might have been there too. I can't remember that part, but I was watching him go up and down the street, and the whole time he was talking to himself. And I mean, he wasn't having like a normal conversation, like thoughts out loud kind of thing. He was talking to people, and he was very aggressive about how he was addressing these people around him. And he was like going into politics and guns and cursing, and was very aggressive, very angry, yelling at these voices that he was hearing. And I was like, man, that sucks. There's like some schizophrenic guy my age, 18, like late teens, early 20s, walking around, like obviously battling himself. And it was like, man, I don't know what to do for you, because the way you're coming off is like, I can't approach you kind of thing. So I go through my day, and I can hear him yelling like from outside the window. I can hear him still walking up and down the street yelling. And my boss had been watching him apparently throughout the day, and he was the pastor, like he was running the shop and the church. And at the end of the day, after sun goes down, it's like 10, 11 o'clock or something, we're all hanging outside the shop, and this guy is still walking around. After 8 hours, he has been walking up and down the street all day. He's tired. He's still talking to voices. And my boss calls him over, and I can't really, like, since it's so long ago, I can't recall how they got into it, but he was willing to offer his services to this guy. And he was like, let me see if I can heal you through the power of Jesus Christ. He was like, let me see if I can help you. And let me pray with you, And I was like, that's a nice sentiment. I don't have a problem with people praying for other people or anything like that. I mean, that's like I thought he was being very generous and nice and wanted to just give him positive vibes and things like that. So the guy was like, yeah, that's fine. So they're standing the entire time, and my boss puts his hand on the dude's head and just starts speaking in tongues. Like, legitimate, like, tongues. If you look up speaking in tongues on YouTube and people are, like, gibbering and stuff, that's what it was. And I had never heard it before. I had never seen it before. And I did not know my boss did that. So I was like, oh, this is happening. Okay. And I expected the dude to just, like, freak out and run off, like, ooh, voices. No. He starts speaking it too. This other guy, the schizophrenic guy, starts speaking in tongues too. And I think that my mind broke at that point, and I was like, is it real? Are you there? Why haven't I believed in you? Like, oh my God, what is happening? Like, I was losing my mind. Like, I was freaking the fuck out. So, they're speaking in tongues, and it's like progressively getting louder and louder and louder, and I'm like freaking the fuck out. And I'm just like sitting on the sidewalk with my boyfriend at the time, and we're both just watching, like, like, power of Christ compels you. Like, it was a fucking mess, right? So at some point, I don't even know how long this lasted, because I was just like, oh my God. The guy with the mental health problems actually, like, fell down to the ground and, like, seemed exhausted. And I was like, are they gone? Are the demons gone? Like, what is happening? Like, I was 18, so I really didn't know, like, what the fuck was happening, because I've never seen this before. And he gets up, and, like, he sits against the wall, like, right where I'm at on the sidewalk, and he's just, like, exhausted. And my boss, like, prays with him, not in tongues this time, something like that, and then just gets up and leaves. He bounced. He was out. He was like, did my job, I'm done. And there were a couple of people that attended the church that were there watching too, so it was like a group of us watching this happen. And they all went back into the shop, and I'm just sitting here with me and my ex and this guy, and he's not talking forever. And finally, at one point, I was just like, are you okay? What happened, man? What's the deal? And he was like, oh, yeah, I grew up going to churches like this. This isn't the first time this has happened to me. And, like, my heart hurt so bad for this guy because, his parents were doing this to him too. They were taking him to churches that they were speaking in tongues, praying, and doing exorcisms on him. And this was just a normal thing for him. And he just, like, went through it and played a role just to get it over with. And he was like, it is what it is, And that's when I was like, oh, this is a show right now. This is, people are doing this believing they're benefiting him, but he's just like, this is not helpful to me at all. And it bums me out. But my initial reaction to seeing an exorcism was like, what the fuck is happening? And is this really, like, what is this? So, like, I'm glad I had the conversation with him after. I ended up seeing him, like, passing by, like, at a stop sign at one point a couple months later, and he seemed like he was doing okay. It's just like, the process of using religion to heal mental illness, and obviously it's not working. And churches that so deeply believe in that, it was really weird. Like, I've never really talked about this experience before, unless it was like with some clients, they might remember me talking about this just as like, oh, but it really bummed me out. Like, I hope he's doing okay. And I hope, you know, I can't, obviously there are people still trying to help people this way, and I don't think that's working at all for anybody. But, you know, that was my story for today. It's interesting. Really fucking weird, and scared the shit out of me. So let me know if you've seen anything crazy like that before, because I don't know. Alright, that's it. That's all I got. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.